Morning Woodhounds, Craig here. This video we're going to go back to the dump. If you watched one of the previous videos earlier today, I actually cut a bunch of river birch, but I heard that there should be some honey locust coming down in the village and being hauled to the dump today. So this time I am going to hook up the trailer and hopefully I can get some honey locust.
Yeah, a lot of honey locust here and maybe some crabapple. Over here there's definitely a lot of honey locust, so I'm going to mark up some logs and buck them up and see if we can get a truck or trailer full. Stay tuned. All right, some of the carnage. Cutting pretty good. Again, it's Honey Locust, so it's very hard to cut. Tough wood. But I'm gonna make some room and get at some more of these logs. Stay tuned. Starting to make a dent in the trailer, loading it up. Still a lot to be cut. I think I'm gonna try getting this guy and probably this guy. We'll see though. It's all good Honey Locust, so get it while the getting's good, as they say. Did a bunch more cutting. I gotta clean it up. I think I hit the dirt. Saw is really chattery. So yeah, I'm gonna load this up and then it might be about lunchtime, so maybe we'll come back in the afternoon. All right, as I was loading up, just about to leave for a lunch break, I was cutting over there, but a dump truck showed up and dropped off more Honey Locust. And some of it's pretty big. See if I can try and put my boot up to it without falling, standing on one foot. Nope, can't really do it. Hold on. So, sorry, that's not a good shot, but pretty darn big. But there are some more manageable pieces in here. They'll split down nice and easy. So yeah, I'm gonna take a break and I'll probably be back to cut some more. All right, we're back in the wood yard with the load of Honey Locust. Stuff is heavy and it takes a long time to season, but it's real good firewood. I'm gonna stack it, the rounds right here, and the plan will then to be, at some point split and let it fall off this way with the Wolfe Ridge. And by the time I get to splitting, I'm hoping either this half face cord of maple is sold or I'll end up moving it. But my plan is to have a bunch of the Honey Locusts stacked in here. And yeah, like I said, it takes a long time to dry, so it might not be used for heating until 2026, 2027. But let's get it unloaded. All right, I think that's gonna wrap up this video. As I was stacking it here, I was thinking how Honey Locust is a really good wood and it takes a long time to season. You know, I'm probably gonna sell it for a premium price or use it myself. But yeah, there's a premium hardwood should demand a more premium price. As I was lifting these off the trailer, they are heavy. So, and it's hard cutting too. So it's hard on my body, it's hard on the equipment. So you got to kind of factor that in when you're pricing your wood. And again, it's a superior hardwood to burn. So in a couple years, this will be some premium stuff to sell or burn myself. Maybe we'll check back in then. Thanks for watching. Bye. Do you want to say something like hit subscribe if you want to see what's under here? Yeah, hold on, let me make sure I can see. Stand in front of the car. Yeah, but you gotta talk. Nope, don't do that. You gotta talk normal, and you gotta look this way, because you can't hear you if you look that way.
If we hit 500, we'll show you what's under here. Yes. Bye-bye.